A slowdown in sales can be frustrating, regardless of the stage you are in business. You feel like you're doing all the right things, and bam, you hit a wall. Is it you? Is it the product? What's happening? I hear you. I've been there, and in this episode, we're taking it all the way back to help you to get out of that headspace of feeling like, what am I even doing here? Or wanting to stay under the covers and just hide, right? You've been there. I've been there. We know the feeling, and we're going to show you 3 things you can do to jumpstart sales during those dry spells. Stay tuned. Real Talk starts now. Hey there. Welcome to another episode of the Real Talk with TN podcast. This is a podcast dishing all the dirt on the realities of running a creative business. My name is TN, and I'm a designer, technical editor, and business coach. See, since leaving corporate almost a decade ago, I've been doing this amazing work full time. It hasn't always been easy, but it has always been totally worth it. Over the years, I've had the amazing opportunities to work with hundreds of makers just like you and tons of big brands. This has given me a front row seat to what it takes to be successful as a creative business. With this podcast, I'm drawing back the curtains to share with you the behind the scenes of the realities of what it's really like, what it takes to run a successful and fulfilling creative business. Welcome to the conversation. Grab a cup of tea or your favorite beverage. It's time for some real talk. Some industries have natural built-in slow periods. For example, knitting and crochet might be slow in the summer months when it's warm and people aren't really interested in knitting with warm yarn on their laps. And then it might pick back up as the temperatures dip or when we're heading into gift-giving seasons. Or if you are a wedding planner, you might see a rise as we go into spring and summer, and then a natural dip in fall and winter. So there are natural ebbs and flow in business where you can sort of predict when to expect a slowdown and really plan for it with those higher months, those more profitable months. And it gets a bit easier as you've been in business longer and longer to really predict when you'll see those lows and those high months. And of course, when you're just starting out and not really understanding that there is a natural lull, you might get frustrated and think it's you and what you offer. But no, sometimes there's just a natural slowdown. And for those, I say write it out. When it gets slow, then you slow down. Take your vacation, go explore and develop new ideas, right? Go and rest. But that's not what we're talking about here in today's episode. We're talking about those unexpected declines in sales that has nothing to do with a lull in the industry. This is just you, and you're wondering what happened. You're wondering, did you tick off some influencer and now you're blacklisted, right? What is going on? You're wondering what to do. And of course, now all those fraudy feelings you thought you kicked way back when, right? Those feelings that say, who do you think you are for even thinking of doing this? You're not good enough, right? Yes, those feelings are coming back up to the surface. And if you're nodding along, thinking why'd you even think this was a good idea? No, wrong. Stop that thinking right now and get back to that space where you know you are a baddie. You know you are good enough, because that's not the problem here. But that fraudy feeling can be the problem real quick if you let it go on any further. So take a deep breath and think back to all that you've done. Disprove that inner critic. Kick her to the curb and let her know and show her evidence that you are good enough. Look back at all you've accomplished over the last few weeks and months and years and show her, that inner critic, that you are good enough, right? So get back to proving yourself get back to that evidence and let's get to work. So here are the 3 things you can do when sales are slow. That things you can do to really boost your business. And the first thing is update and refresh your catalog. If you are a designer, knit or crochet, take some new photos of some of your older patterns. Think about updating your pattern writing. See what you can add. Create new and fresh content around that design. Look at how you can add value. And if you're curious about what I mean when I'm talking about value, go back to the last episode for some ideas. And when we're talking about update and refresh, think about your social media. Does it portray who you are right now? If your audience went to your Instagram and looked at it, would that be who you are right now in this space? Look at your website. Again, does that portray who you are? Does it speak to your perfect person and answer the questions of how what you do can transform their lives and solve their problem? So make sure that in those places that who you are matches to who you really are and what you do and how you solve the problems of your perfect person. Now, the second thing you can do is to reach out to your audience. And I don't mean like in a really sleazy way and just to like hit people up and like, hey, what's up? And trying to, sell. But instead, connect and engage. Hit up folks in the DMs and have conversations on Instagram. Say hello and ask what problems they're having that you might be able to solve and have real conversation around their problem, making them the center of the conversation. Instead of just being me, and what I can do, find out more about what they need help with so that you can create content around solving those problems and figuring out how you can put what you offer as the solution for some of those problems. Something else you can do when we're talking about reaching out to your audience, send out emails to your list. Maybe you haven't emailed in a while. Now could be a great time to re-engage your audience in that way. Maybe you have a Facebook group that you haven't reached out to in a while as well. Re-engage. And I'm not saying to go do all these things. I'm not saying get on Instagram and do email and Facebook and TikTok and all that stuff. No. Pick 1 or 2. Maybe do email and Instagram and start connecting and engaging with your audience in an authentic way, and not just to be sleazy and to be salesy, but to really talk to them and see what problems they have and learn about how you can be a solution to their problem. And the third thing that you can do when sales are slow is put yourself out there with focus. Okay, yes, I know you show up on social media and you post a lot. But what I mean here is to have a clear focus on an offer that you can really concentrate all your energy around pushing to your audience. And I talk about this a lot, particularly in Pattern Partnership, where I teach around the idea of focusing on one offer and talking about it for a week or 2 in this concentrated effort. And while it's scary and you might feel like you're going to bore your audience and worse, bore yourself, this is a great way, when coupled with deadlines, to provide scarcity around the offer. And that's where the magic is for your audience to make a decision, to say that, yes, I want it, or no, I don't want it. And with you showing up consistently to talk about this thing from every angle, right? Talking to your perfect person about what's in it for them, then they'll be able to see how this thing can help them. And it's not just like, oh, I saw it on Tuesday and I never see it again. If they're seeing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you have a deadline to show that this thing is scarce, right? It's going to go away if they don't get it right now. You're putting them in a position to make that decision. Yes, I want it. No, I don't. That's it. Right? So show up consistently with focus and share how what you offer can change the lives of your perfect person. So those are the 3 things that you can do when your business slows down. 1, update. 2, reach out. And 3, focus. So those slow periods in business, yeah, they happen to every business. Yes, even the big giants, right? The big companies like Target, Amazon, it happens to them as well. The key is not to be busy, but to be productive with your time during these slow periods. It's what you do during that time to firm up your foundation and tighten up your systems. It's those things that will carry you through, because that's what others who are no longer in business fail to do. So those other companies that might fail and say, oh, there's too much competition. No, it's because they didn't take the slow period as time to really focus on their business and to make real changes. So know that these slow periods in business, they are just a phase. They are just a season, and you will weather it through, because the reality is that you are in control of your business, and what you do next is up to you. So go make your business pop. You have 3 things that you can do right now if sales are slow to really turn things around. That's it. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to another episode of the podcast all the way to the end. Everything we mentioned will be listed in the show notes at tianconnerton.com/realtalkwithtn. If you have questions on anything I've mentioned, or if you just want to book a coaching session, go to tianconnerton.com/contact-us to get in touch. You got this.